And now, Emmanuel, you really are the blessing of all, for all of us. That you took this on and have been the sole person responsible for helping these young women. And would you come up and talk a bit about?
First of all, let me just thank you all for being here on a Monday afternoon. It's not one of the busiest days in DC, so I appreciate your commitment to coming out. Secondly, just to bring you up to speed on what has happened in Nigeria last week, for the first time, an incumbent was kicked out of office. Based on that, I want to say, Mayor Bobby noticed that I'll be running against him. But you'll notice that the young lady stepped out, and the reason is this is still very dramatic for them when they do that. So they'll step out for a while.
They're fine. They can do whatever they want to do.
They can come back. But let me start by saying that I lead a very unconventional life. A lot of people who travel and they come back with a magnet or a T-shirt, that says, I went to Israel and all I got you was a T-shirt. And I travel and I come back, with a child. So my wife, I think, is the real hero of this story, not me, because she has to put up with, all of what I bring back. But I will start by giving you a bit of context of how I got involved with this. A couple of years ago, I was in Nigeria, staying at the Hilton where Mayor Gant loves to stay. And I met a young lady whose father had just been killed in front of her 2 days before Christmas. And not only did terrorists kill her father in front of her, they turned to her younger brother. She was 12 at the time, her brother was 15. And they debated amongst themselves, should we kill him? One said, oh, he's too young. The other one said, oh no, he's going to grow up and become a pastor like his dad. So let's kill him. They killed this teenage boy in anticipation of his future life. And because she was a girl, she wasn't worth being killed. She wasn't worth the bullets that they would use. And they tied her up, and this is, I think, really what evil looks like. They tied her up between the bodies of her dad and her brother and left her there overnight. Now, you see this girl, she has no scars. She's actually a very lovely young kid. But the terrors that she has, the psychological damage, you could never tell just from looking at her. But at times at night when we want to pray, we ask, do you have a prayer request? She says, pray that I don't have bad dreams. Every night is a traumatic experience for Debbie. And so I brought Debbie to the United States and placed her in school. And that was the first time I heard about Chibok. I'd never heard about Chibok before then. I'm not from that part of the country. I'm from the middle belt of Nigeria. I'm not from Canada. And then last year, I should say about the Hilton, when we heard that story, and this was just a few weeks after her father was killed, we checked out of the Hilton. And we took the money we saved for that night to pay for rent for her for a year. I mean, you see those situations and you know what you have to do. I was traveling with another American colleague who had never been to Nigeria. So I told him, I said, what do you think we need to do? He agreed with me. We would slum in out for the next few days if we knew what this situation looks like for the girls.
We now have 10 of them here. We've not received any institutional support from any major donors. In fact, we've had to subsidize governments to be able to bring them. In getting their passports, we not only paid the official fees, we had to pay extra to get passports from the government. In getting their visas, we not only paid the visa fees, we had to pay visa fees multiple times because the US Embassy wouldn't give us visas on time. You know, they'll give us visa interviews for 3-4 months, you know, ahead. We wanted them in school fast, so we would have to pay again just to get a quicker date. It was crazy. The US Embassy has denied one of our girls the visa. They made us pay again. We paid. She went back last month, was denied again. So on one hand we have terrorists taking girls out of schools, and on the other hand we have the United States Embassy taking girls out of school. So we haven't received the kind of support that we would ordinarily expect. I read that the United Nations announced grand plans to help the girls. I was like, oh, this is cool. And so I asked our girls, have you received anything from United Nations? No. Okay. I was in Nigeria recently and I met a government official. Oh, yes, the United Nations helped. What did they do? Oh, they gave some girls travel packs with toothbrushes. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. You really shouldn't have. But that is that is the planet that we've been in. And so we now have these girls here, and there's a next phase. They are continuing care. And this is where, you know, Izzy's help has been incredible. She told you already the story. I won't recap too much, but one of the girls and I were invited to Geneva, and she flies all the way, gets to DC, and because of the snowstorm, they're hovering over the airport, and then they're diverted to Richmond. Okay, this guy escaped Boko Haram, now I'm losing her in American airspace. And so I'm thinking, who can I call? And I remember Easy, and I said, you know, she's just the natural, logical person to call in that situation. And unfortunately, by the time we figured it out, I called this girl. They were loading them back on the plane because they're giving an option. You know anyone in Richmond that you can go to? If not, we're taking you back to Atlanta. And so by the time we got Easy involved, she was getting on the plane to go back to Atlanta. So she didn't get to DC till the following day. And so it was an incredible time. And Easy subsequently just kept following up with me when we came back from Geneva, you know, where are they doing, what can I do to help? And I said, oh, they're coming for spring break. Now here's the thing, I was scheduled to be in Nigeria monitoring elections. And then my wife helped me, wrote me a reality check. She was like, these girls are coming for spring break. We're going to have 5 teenagers in the house in addition to our own kids. You realize you're not going anywhere, right? So that helped put things in perspective. And you know, I was very upset. You know, honey, I suggested to her that she could call the president of Nigeria to move the elections again. She didn't seem to want to do that. She's probably not on speed dial. But here's what happened. A couple of days after they arrived, one of the girls had to be in the ER for 7 hours. And I had to be there with her. And that helped validate for me my wife's confidence. Otherwise, I would have thought, look, you're frustrating my career or my, you know, my cause. But this is the reality of what this new responsibility has to be. And this is where she came in, because she was with me on the phone, calling the hospitals to get financial aid and all of that. So in the last couple of weeks, she's been a very strong and committed partner. And what you all may not realize, and I should say this as a finally do wrap up here. One of the girls, because we have 2 sets of girls in 2 schools, one on the West Coast, one on the East Coast. So the West Coast girls are here. But one of the East Coast girls, just lost my dad last week. Now, a few months ago, she had lost her mom. So we knew, no questions asked, we need to get her, it's a 7-hour trip from here to school. Easy drove up there and brought her to my home at midnight yesterday. That's the kind of commitment we're talking about. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm truly delighted that you all are here to be able to stand with us in an intersection of history and a human response. And I hope that our two projects can work together to support these girls in the integration process. I think
Mama,